So this one's a little bit different. I've recorded the last 3 goals that I did on the final stages Inheritance. I'm just going to show you the last few goals that I recorded and just talk really about what I thought of the whole event and the car and some of the goals and what have you, just as we go through. But I did have a bit of trouble with this series, well, the last day anyway. I honestly don't know whether not playing the game as much these days, I've just got far worse, or whether they've made things, I don't think they've made things more difficult. It's just some of it is, I just seem to struggle on some of these days. I never used to struggle like I do now on a lot of these, but anyway, these days I do. Even with the car fully upgraded, some of the goals seem to be quite hard. This one, I actually struggled with this. It took me 2 or 3 goes, like they all did on the last day. I seem to struggle more on when the cars lack grip. And this car, to me, seemed to lack grip, or it seemed to lack an identity, I suppose, of a car. It seemed to me. It doesn't seem like it's very fast, and it's just like one of the typical old Ferraris that we used to have when, you know, the days before the Ferrari, the FXX and the 488 GTE, the days before them, all the Ferraris were rubbish, and this seems to be just like one of them. Now I know the grip says it's 1.28, but to me it just seems to drive like a grip of a 111, or, you know, that 116, somewhere around there. It certainly doesn't seem to grip as much as what the stats say anyway. But this whole Ferrari update, I don't actually think it's been a very good update. I don't know what you think, but to me it seems to be, you know, all the cars were expensive. None of them seem to be very appealing. I know we've got one more to come yet. I can't think what the name of it is, but this car, you know, like lots of cars in this car, I mean, I'm no petrol head, as many of you will know, but, you know, this car, 812 Superfast, whatever it is, never heard of it. But, you know, I've not heard of many cars on this game. But to me, it seems just like it's just another Ferrari. And because I like customising cars, and with Ferraris you can't do anything with them these days, that again doesn't really appeal to me much, in the fact that, you know, you can change the colour, yellow, red, blue, probably, whatever it is, and that's pretty much a lot. You can't really do anything else with it, and that sort of, to me, straight away makes it not a favourite car of mine, you know, that I'm going to own. So I do like customising, so for those of you that do like customising as well, I'm sure you're going to feel the same way. That is a big drawback with Ferraris, that you can't customise them. Looks wise, the car looks, it's just an ordinary, you know, for this game it's just an ordinary car, it's just another car. Now a little glimpse there of the F14 there in the mirror. That is something I think this game is, it's just become daft, as if this car would have any chance whatsoever against an F14 or an FXX, which it's often seems to be pitted against as well for this particular special event. There was one where, I'm not sure if it was an endurance or something, yesterday or day before, I think it was an endurance, where the whole field was filled of F14s. Might have been Catalonia Club. I mean, and you just went round in this non-grippy piece of crap and beat all of the F14s. I mean, you just trounced them. I mean, that to me is, it's just daft. I mean, this is probably, This seems to be more like driving, say, a Viper, something like that. It's sort of long bonnet, long, you know, like it's a long car, no grip, quite fast, brakes are a bit hit and miss, and that's one of the other things I was thinking about on here. It's the brakes on this car seem to work sort of most of the time, but not all of the time. I had a few issues with this. I mean, you know, that there, just skidding all over the place, is quite typical of what this car does. If you go obviously too slow, you're not gonna reach your target. If you go a little bit faster, then you're just likely to, you know, run out of tyres. And it's, I'm not sure, but it seems to me that it's these special events. I mean, we get so many of them these days that I did actually try this in the red. I don't do it, but I did try it. It seems to be, some of them seem to be quite hard enough in the green, let alone the red. Now, for those of you who don't have many upgrades on your cars, it must have been very difficult. I know a lot of you will say, "Oh, I've done it easy. I only had 9 upgrades and stuff," but you know, I've not in the stage now wanting to, you know, do this special event, you know, in the first go and stuff. I mean, I haven't got the concentration anymore. I haven't got the desire to really think about it. I'm more these days of a bit of a casual player that I'll go around. Obviously, you know, you lose a bit of your edge, I suppose, of, you know, concentration. I've never been brilliant at concentration, but it's got much worse than it ever has done before. But it's the fact that, you know, I used to try and do it with only, say, 17 upgrades, and I used to enjoy the challenge of doing that. But these days, I don't even enjoy doing that. I just want to sort of, you know, the game now for me has become a collection of the cars, and that is all, nothing else. I mean, I don't really even complete the game, all of the series anymore. There's so many, it's just, I sort of struggled with the desire to do yet another series of 22 tiers, and there's like another, you know, when we get an update, there might be 5 or 6 new tiers to do. That's 100 races just to be at 100% completion again, and I'm not, I've just lost the desire for it, really. Now, this was quite strange, this event here, where I was in the red here, this FXX, I mean, this wouldn't stand a chance, would it? Let's be fair. Against an FXX, no chance. But so I found it's quite hard to keep it on the track round here, and the brakes seem to work sometimes or not others, and it was all a bit hit and miss, really. And with the FXX, you think you've got it all the time, and then you find no, you haven't. But you know, we just seem to go through a lot of hard work, it seems to me, to win these cars. And I really do feel for some of you lower level players that haven't got the resources, haven't got the gold and racing dollars that I've got. It must be infuriating for you at times, I would think, to get a car, you know, like this. If you're used to cars in the Pro-Am, Pro, Master, Elite, that sort of thing, this car would actually probably seem quite a decent car. And that was a rip-off there, where he just, I thought I'd won that, and he just shot past right at the last knockings. I thought that was a bit of a sly old move he did there. I remember when that happened, I felt quite aggrieved. Proper in the red, decided to have another go. I think at this point I've just thought, well, I might as well have another go. If I don't do it, I'll just have to service it and do it when it's in the green. But had I have had me mojo, as they call it, I may well have done it with this. I don't think I'll do it. I don't think I'll do it on this time, but we'll watch along together because I've got no clue what happens either. Oh, that's what happened. Fair dues. Oh, right, I'm going to have to service it, I think. I think that's going to happen somehow. Well, no chance. Oh yeah, I did service it. I like this, watching my own video. I don't normally do this. I'm a viewer. Right, I don't know if I did this first go or second go. I can't actually remember. Yeah, so anyway, it'd be nice to listen to your comments about this. Yeah, not so much the car as much, because it's just, to me, it's just another run-of-the-mill car. It's a typical, I would say, expert level, but I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good enough to be expert. I mean, I'd much prefer the M3 GT2 or the ALMS Audi any day of the week over this. This is just very, it just reminds me of a Viper. That's what it reminds me of. Beautiful cars in real life to look at. They look mean, they look fantastic, but in this game Vipers are not a good car, and this definitely seems like a Viper to me. But I say, it's just become, you know, a collection thing for me. That's all cars are these days, just a collection to keep it up. But there was a couple of here on when the brakes, when it's like, you know, sometimes the screen, it sort of staggers a little bit. Usually on endurances you get like a little freeze, just a little split-second freeze, and I don't know if it's like rejigging your opponents or whatever, but it does seem a little bit odd when it does it, and that seems to be creeping into the rest of the races these days, and I don't know why it does that. And then after that, quite often is when it seems to suddenly lose grip, or had it on the lap before, or the brakes might not seem to work properly. I think it looks like I'm going to do this on this go. I have to brake so early on this corner because I've got no idea where the braking point is. On the stats I looked at, the brakes on this car don't actually seem bad. The grip doesn't seem bad, but driving it, grip is more like, I would say, more like say a 1.15 or 16. And the brakes, now the brakes probably, to be fair, aren't really that bad. It's more the fact it doesn't seem to like gripping. This is where I got caught out last time. Right, so I took it extra careful and it didn't, so I didn't do it. I thought I was going to do it that time. So that was obviously showed you that I was being a bit treading very carefully on that corner, because I knew I didn't want him. That's where he went up the inside, weren't it? On the previous one, yeah, so he went up the inside, so I thought to myself, try and protect that, brake just a little bit later, and what happens? You go off. And I didn't seem to be going at any speed either. The speed I took that at seemed to be very slow, but still managed to go off track. So this FXX, really, really good car, excellent car, and if you don't own an FXX, you would think this car's better than an FXX if you're quite new to this game. Let me tell you here and now, it's not. These non-grippy things, eh? I've obviously done a list of cars what I think are the best 20, the worst 20, the cars you should have and stuff. I'm going to do a few videos coming up shortly of just like top 10s of things. Hopefully you'll enjoy them. I don't really obviously get so many videos out anymore for various reasons really, but I'm glad you could join me for this one for a change. leave a like if you wouldn't mind on the video. It does obviously encourage me to do more. Sometimes I'll put a video out and it might only get whatever 600 views or something, which a lot of them only get these days, which is obviously shows not very popular anymore, but there you go. And then sometimes you might get 600 views, you get 5 dislikes and a few shitty comments, and you think, I don't know why I bother. But it's been doing it, I've been doing it now for probably 3 years. Obviously people do get fed up with you and go on to other people, but can't blame them, I suppose. One of them little staggery things again. Right, so I did it that time, by the look of it. So finally, took a while actually, that last stage for me. There was one actually a day or two ago at Le Mans, and it was at night. I could not see a thing going on the Molten Straight. Could not see a thing. It was so black, that screen. It was like I had no clue where I was going. And then I restarted the tablet, and suddenly I had lights. So that must happen more often than what I realised, I think. But anyway, so that costs an arm and a leg. Lot too much gold for that car. Far too much gold for that. So it's one of those cars that if you haven't won it, or if you didn't go in for it this time, and it comes around on the flash battle, so it's one of them cars I would say avoid it, because it's not worth the money it costs. Certainly ain't worth the gold anyway. Anyway, no one completed. Let me know what you think. See you on another one pretty soon. Cheers.